right, so we have the ability to like bounce up and down. So we can go up and down. And we've locked our rotation so we won't spin anymore. But we're not moving forward at all, which that's not really that useful. Let's go ahead and change that. I'm going to go to my BP spaceship. I'm going to right click and I'm going to scroll down until I find physics. I want to find something that will add a consistent amount of force or speed to this. That way it won't do it jarringly. It'll be consistently moving forward. We've already used add impulse, which will add an impulse to a single rigid body, good for a one-time instant burst. Not what we're looking for. Angular impulse, same thing. What about force? We have add force. We have add force at location, and add force at location local. What does this do? Add a force to a single rigid body. This is good for a thruster, good for a burst over some non-zero time. It should be called every frame of the duration of the force. Okay, that might work. Let's go ahead and do add force. Now this said that this should be done at every frame, which means we should connect it to event tick, so it'll happen consistently every frame. And just like add impulse, the target for it is the static mesh itself. And we can have it change the force with direction. We want it to go X, Y, or Z. Well, if we want it to go forward, we want it to go X. So I'll set this to 10 for now. What do these other settings do? Bone name, skeletal mesh. No, we don't need that. Excel change. What is this? If true, force is taken as a change in acceleration instead of a physical force, i.e. mass will have no effect. Let's go ahead and turn that on. For right now, we don't want mass to have an effect because we haven't learned about that or worried about it yet. So turn that on. So that way it'll be consistent speed. Compile and press save. Now if I go and press play, I'm on the ground and I'm not moving. But as soon as I press the spacebar and bounce a bit, go up in the air, I'm slowly moving forward. There we go. If I hit something though, let's see what happens. I am now spinning. Because I collided with something that was spinning, it transferred that motion, and then I started spinning. This is kind of what happens when you have physics interactions and physics, and you're simulating physics. Sometimes things can happen and be a little unpredictable. That's fine. For now though, let's go ahead and increase the speed in which we're moving. I'll set this to 100. Save and compile, press play. Well, if I hit the ground, I start spinning. I don't really want that. We don't really want the ground anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and select my ground. And I'm not going to delete it all the way. I'm going to just lower it down somewhere. And then increase the size of it to make it really, really big. I'll set it to 300 for now. Really big. And for the material, because I want to be able to tell if I'm moving, I don't want a basic, ground. I'm going to select a different material and I'll grab cobblestone pebble. And that material doesn't really look like cobblestone. That's just a real big mountain kind of thingy. Now this is the issue with scaling. Because I just scaled the ground without really paying attention to the size, not really worrying about it. The material and the texture on it is weird, to say the least. But for our purposes, it'll work because it's going to let us see as we're moving. So now I'll press play. And I can see that I'm moving because I have something around me to be able to judge and base whether or not I'm moving off of. So I am moving forward and I can press the spacebar and it lets me move forward. So we have basic movement. We can move forward, it happens automatically, and we can jump. We can bounce. As of right now though, if I hit the ring, I hit it and nothing else happens. I get flung to the side and it causes, me to spin. which isn't really what we're looking for. Now, the controls aren't quite what we want them to be yet, but we have something up and running. One thing I do want to do here is I want to lock it so that way my ship is locked in rotation Z for now. If we end up setting the ability to turn and move, we can change that. But for right now, let's lock that rotation. File and save. And we can actually kind of set up a map of sorts here. We can set up a level. Let's add some obstacles into our scene. So I'm going to grab our content drawer, starter content, props, and I could add things in the way here. Or if I wanted to, I can go up here, basic shapes, and add in some cubes and make these bigger. And make obstacles that I have to get through. So I can Control C, Control V this. Now I have a second one that I need to be able to fit in between. Something like that. Let's play and try that out. Still a little too hard to control it, but yeah, I didn't make this a lot bigger. But you get the idea. We already have the basics of what we would need to make a game. We just have to add in the interactivity as far as a goal and having something to collect and what happens when you actually hit something and do you die or what? And that'll happen in the next set of videos. For right now, though, we're doing pretty good.